everyone, konnichiwa. Welcome to Nihoned. I really want to say welcome back to Nihoned, but I hardly have any subscribers, so that's that. So, having said that, I know it's been over a month since I made a proper video, but the reason for that is fairly simple. I did not have internet until very recently. I know I could have made some videos offline and then later on uploaded, but then it's pretty much time consuming, so I decided I'm not going to do that. Anyways, in the last video that I made in Shanghai, I talked about why I left China, after 10 years and after I pretty much settled in China. Um, yeah, I'll add links to that video in the description and the appropriate cards. This is for people who are interested in leaving China before they hit the 10-year mark and realize that they're stuck. Just kidding. This is for people who are generally interested in coming to China for the mid and long term sort of time frame. If you're coming for short term, doesn't really matter. Just come, enjoy, and go. Right. Okay. So coming back to this video, I wanted to focus on the catch-22 situation we, as in me and my wife, found ourselves in while getting started in China. Okay, obviously I meant Japan and not China. Slip of the tongue. I think this video is going to be a bit long, so I'll leave appropriate timestamps for people who would like to skip over to specific parts of the video. I might, in fact, chop this up into 2 or 3 different sections. But yeah, still not decided what direction to go to. Anyways, some disclaimer before we get started. Okay, so just gonna read it from my list here. Since this is literally my first month in Japan, I'm sure there are better ways to do what I did and get started in Japan. And in fact, I hope you can comment about some of your own experiences or your thoughts on the same. Obviously, as my wife rightly pointed out, I should have done more research, but then in hindsight, everything is 2020. To be clear, I'm not endorsing any brand or services. I might be that I might be talking about in my videos, and I'm not sponsored by any of the companies I might be talking about. If there are any sort of sponsored contents, I'll try and make it explicitly clear. Either put a call out in the video or make it clear right at the beginning. The views expressed in my videos are essentially my own personal views and doesn't reflect the views of my employers, either current or past. This even does not reflect the views of my wife. Finally, I'm not trying to complain about the life here. I'm just documenting some of my experiences. And in any case, in all honesty, it's just too early to complain about anything. Okay, so our catch-22 situation in brief. Okay, so as I started writing out the script for this video, I realized that this is going to be one of those long videos, going over 20-25 minutes, and I might have to chop it up into a few pieces. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But meanwhile, I thought I should at least explain the situation in brief so that you can understand what you're about to see here, either in few parts of this video or the whole video. Anyway, this is the perspective of somebody who's coming to Japan on hopefully on a long-term basis, right? So I'm expecting to stay here at least a couple of years, and basically I've tried to avoid the temptation of using short-term solutions or doing what's the most convenient because it's easy and all that sort of thing. Okay, now that I covered the basics, let's just get started. Okay, so if you look at Wikipedia, the definition of a catch-22 situation is a catch-22 is a paradoxical situation from which an individual cannot escape because of contradictory rules. Okay, like the biggest example is to find a job, you need experience, but to get experience, you need a job, right? So, any case, here is what I like to talk about in these videos or the one long video, right? Again, I'll give options to people so that they can decide what to see. Foreigner friendly real estate agency requires the foreigner to know Japanese language or to have a Japanese friend. Again, apparently they don't speak English in such places. The English talking agencies and the houses that they offer was pretty much outside my budget. So the second point, a foreigner who comes to Japan on a local contract on his or her own volition is expected to provide the details of a Japanese person who will be his emergency contact. This one is definitely a bit borderline, as I already knew some Japanese people who are living in Japan before I came to Japan. Um, at this point, I really want to give a big shout out to Satake-san for his help with this. Despite the initial confusion around this particular point, he literally saved me and my wife from a very tough situation. Again, to be very clear, this is not the financial guarantor thing, and you can find out a little bit more about that in the main section of the video. To sign a house contract, it is advisable for the aforementioned foreigner to have a local number and preferably a local account, although there is a workaround for the local account part, at least for the agency that I signed the contract with. To sign a long term mobile number contract, you must have the local address, which is updated onto your residence card or the Zairyo Kado, as they call it here, and preferably a local bank account or a local credit card. Obviously, you can choose some of the services like Sakura Mobile, which is they are basically called a virtual mobile network operator or mobile virtual network operator, and they offer English support and all those things, and you can cancel the contract anytime. But as far as I understand, even they need the Zairyu card and the address to be updated on it. So yeah. And finally, to open a local bank account for someone with a work account, a work visa like me, so that I can get my salary and all that. This person should have a local address updated on the Zairyu card and a local number, preferably a mobile number. At least this was the case for the bank that I signed up my account with. It's a bank called Mizuho Bank. Anyways, as you can see, based on what I experienced, to get a local address, it's preferable to have a local bank account and a local number. To open a local bank account, you need a local address and a local phone number. And to get a local phone number, you need to have a local address and a local account. So I guess there is some problem with this whole logic. But yeah, of course, there was a workaround for this. But I'll talk about this in the main video, right? By the way, wanted to add a sixth point. It's not related to getting started in Japan, but was something that was really itching to burst out of me, like that thing from Aliens. Um, okay, so when you sign up for Japanese classes, especially the one that was organized by the local community center here, you actually discover that people here teach Japanese in Japanese to foreigners who don't speak Japanese. Okay, let me repeat that. They teach you Japanese in Japanese to foreigners who don't speak Japanese. And yeah, I mean, this is at least what happened when we went to the community center. And funnily enough, when we went to a place where they offered full-time Japanese lessons, they actually wanted us to have a financial guarantor and an emergency contact who's a Japanese or can speak Japanese. And it's anyway at this point of time, we're not signed up for that one because we're not sure, like, how do we go about this again. It's it is entirely possible that we have all these issues because we are living in this small city which is, like, in the outskirts of Yokohama. And it's possible that they're not used to dealing with so many foreigners. I'm not sure exactly, right? I do see a lot of foreigners hanging out in this locality, but it's possible that they've been here for a long time. Anyway, solution for all these problems are pretty simple, except for the last one. But I don't want to spoil the surprise. Um, so yeah, in the full video, the main video, I'll talk about some of these things more in details. So I hope to see you there, right? And I guess it'll some of those details might be useful for foreigners who wants to come to Japan. Okay, guys, this is the end of part one, or the introduction. I'm hoping to make the next part very soon. So if you're not done so already, feel free to subscribe, um, and put that. I think it's that notification icon, the little bell icon. Click that, and as soon as the next part is out, um, you guys will find out. And in the next part, obviously, I'm going to talk about the finding the house, right? How exactly we went about finding the house here in Japan. It was a very interesting experience, and I hope you guys will subscribe to my channel, and will find out about our experiences here. All right, then, see you.